Don't touch anything.
It's the greatest find yet. Nothing compares to it.
But it's definitely something you should hear.
This is The Real Deal with Larry Lawton.
Welcome to The Real Deal with me, Larry Lawton. We are going to have a great show today. It's big time update on Nicaragua, the Super Bowl, and our mascot, which we have a little problems with right now. But it's going to be Nick and I. We're going to have a great Tuesday here with you guys. We're going to have to be talking about a lot, Nick. So how was your weekend?
Oh, stressful.
Yeah.
Not good, really. Actually, this is probably one of the actually, it's good in a way. But it was stressful.
Well,
good.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
looking
first
up.
of all, before I even get into this whole show, please thank Oliva. Oliva's our sponsor for the show. They are great. I'm trying to work things with Oliva. They've been great. We got a lot of big stuff coming. I think it's exciting times for us. I really do. What do you think, Nick, on that point?
Oh, wow.
I mean, really, we got a lot going on.
I'm busy.
Okay,
But
let me address
me, not I. We.
We. It's we.
Not just,
it's a whole team.
We're all up into, our eyebrows.
First of all, let me jump right in and say, first of all, what do you think of the Super Bowl?
The halftime show was boring.
Yeah, it was kind of shitty.
But the game was cool.
Of...
The game was stressful. I didn't care who won, and it was still cool.
No, the game was great.
Yeah.
I mean, I was rooting for Mahomes because, listen, that's his third Super Bowl.
It was a good
I mean,
game.
out of 4 times to the Super Bowl.
I was rooting for him. Yeah, I totally was.
Yeah, Mahomes.
Once I realized it was a 3, and he's that new, right?
Back to back, too,
Like
yeah, well, he's
new.
been in the league 6 years, and he's been to the Super Bowl 4 times, and he's won 3. That's just 50% already, out of all the years. I mean, they're comparing him to, obviously, they're comparing him to Brady,
So
one of the greatest ever lived.
What's an average age?
Oh, well,
stop?
Tom Brady went till he was in his 40s.
Well, that's not
Mahomes
average,
is young.
right?
No.
Yeah.
Mahomes is young. The problem in football is obviously these guys are so big and strong, and I'll tell you what, they're just moosey. How would you like to see a guy who can run a 4.5, 4.6, 4? You're in shape today. A 4.6, 4.5, 4.7, 40, and chase you down, and he's 300 and change. Pounds.
Yeah.
I'm wondering. I always said to myself, I wonder why there's not more injuries in football. I mean, there's a lot of them.
I'm learning the bigger you are, the easier you can tear muscles and.
Well, what Nick is trying to refer to, and we're going to start this one off too, but we still got to talk about the Super Bowl.
Let's keep on the Super Bowl. I'm just saying that this week. I literally am learning that the bigger you are,
yeah, well,
you tear something, it's not a good comeback.
Hey, what do you think of Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl?
She was getting it. And Ice Spice was there? Why the heck was Ice Spice there? That is awesome. Ice Spice is literally like a meme artist right now, but she's doing numbers, so she's not a meme anymore.
Well, if she was sitting in the box with Taylor Swift in the Kansas City
right
box,
next to her,
sitting right there, Paul, talk about a career booster.
Her first song came out less than a year ago, Larry. This girl's song came out a year ago.
I wouldn't know a year ago. Would I know?
No, not at all. No,
Okay,
not a chance. But the best thing about the internet is if they make fun of you hard enough and you write it and you don't care and you don't let them cancel you or make you stop posting, Ice Spice is an awesome, and Daniela Bagroli, the bad baby with the Dr. Phil. Remember the girl with the red hair?
No.
All I'm just trying to say is just don't let the internet try to cancel you. You can't.
Listen, it can't cancel me.
And you can be Ice Spice and dropped your first song 1 year ago and be hanging out with Taylor Swift.
Listen, I wish I could hang out with Taylor Swift, but no, I can't.
Coolest thing.
I can't. I can't move on Kelsey. But
He said, "That's my boy. We are best friends."
How would you like to be rich and then marry a woman who's worth $1 billion?
That'd be the best thing in the world.
I wonder what the over and under was getting proposed. Wow. He didn't propose to it, did he? Not that I heard of.
I don't know. I think we would have seen it.
Yeah,
by now. It's only been what?
Listen, the Super Bowl
hours?
to me, know, my brother, he won the boxes. He had the football box. He won $1,375 in boxes. David. So David's on a roll, man.
Oh, your pool's over with Chach too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know
Yeah,
how
I mean, I
much
did
you
all
won?
right. I did all right. I made a few bucks. David made a few bucks. I mean, nothing major, but we paid for
Yeah.
the season. We had a lot of fun. I mean, again, that's all those pools are for fun and all those
I mean,
guys.
as long as you make your money back, whatever. After that,
Pretty much,
That's
I
what you
mean-
guys were saying. You were like, "Oh, my money's back." Now it's just fun.
That's just the way, listen, we don't do any of the gambling, to gamble like that. We don't do that anymore. What we do is pretty much just get into all this for fun. We were in a bunch of boxes, $20 box, a $10 box, a $100 box, a $5 box. And I won nothing. David won the money. Then he buys a lottery ticket, a scratch off, and he wins $500.
Then he hits the Joker Poker machine.
No,
Wins
he
another
didn't.
12.
No, he didn't. No, there's no Joker. But we should put one in the office. But
I still don't know what it is.
Joker
It's just
Poker's a gambling machine.
When
It's
you
like a lot-
New
it's like
Yorkers
the-
say it, it's just like
Joker
roll,
Poker machine.
Joker Poker. It sounds like the funnest game you could
Joker
lose all
Poker's
your
just
money
a
at.
pinball, like a pinball machine that really pays off. It's like a lottery machine that
We
pays
got to
off.
kill it, Larry. We got to kill that motherfucker, dude.
Oh, no.
One of us has got to get it.
You
during
gotta
the podcast.
watch your language in this usually show.
sorry,
I mean,
I'll
you
pop
usually
it.
yell
Like,
at
get it.
me for that.
Get it.
But forget it.
That could be the goal of the podcast.
No, it's not
don't
the
worry
goal.
about it. But I'm gonna get it.
No, it's
see?
not the goal of the podcast. And let's get
The
going.
next hour is us just
No, it's not going to be
batting
that.
like
Okay,
cats.
first of all, as you can see, everybody, of course, I'm smoking my Crooked Diamonds. Nick and I came back from Nicaragua, and I will tell you guys something. I learned more about cigars, and I've been a cigar smoker for 42 years, literally since I was 20 years old. I'll be 63. And I literally learned more in 5 days we were there than I could imagine. You too. And actually, Nick smokes
Yeah,
now.
oh, yeah.
He never smoked before,
Yeah.
guys. And now he's actually smoking cigars. So I think that's pretty wild. And he has to smoke a Crooked Diamond. I mean, otherwise he gets thrown out of the office. But no, but he understood now. He didn't understand how they were
I had
filled.
no idea. No, I couldn't even comprehend it.
Isn't
Like
it pretty cool?
I got the idea of it. Like you can see a cigar, right? Like
Yeah,
you can
but
see
no.
one, I could see one, and then I can kind of piece some things together because I know what a cigarette is.
Totally
And that's
different.
what I thought, I was
Totally
like,
different.
the other day when I was trying to de-gut one, I was like, what's going on here? We go to Nicaragua, I'm like, holy
Oh,
cow.
now I know
this is
why I
like a
can't do that.
science. It's a science.
300 people touch that cigar before you smoke it. And it takes 5 to 10 years for that leaf that you're smoking. And we saw the whole operation. We're coming out. We have a whole bunch of stuff coming, guys. We got videos. We have a channel coming out. We have a whole bunch of stuff. It's really geared. That channel is all geared to cigar smokers and stuff. And I think it's going to be an amazing channel. Obviously, it's going to be the go-to. We met Rocky Patel, Juan Martinez, who owns
Oldest, right?
yeah, the oldest cigar company in Nicaragua, which Nicaragua supplies 2/3 of all cigars to the United States. 2/3. It's not Cuba anymore. And I interviewed Rocky Patel, Juan Martinez, who owns Hoya Nicaragua, which is the oldest cigar company. I interviewed Fred, who's the owner of Oliva, and we had a great time there. We really, really had a good time.
You gotta get it, bro.
Stop it. So
No,
anyway,
it was a
guys,
great time. And
I will tell you something, guys.
humble. Everyone is so accommodating and nice, and
Everybody, what Nick is saying.
couldn't even speak a lick. How do you say it? I couldn't speak the language at all, not one bit.
I gotta
And
kill this. Just kill this.
and I got around just fine.
We had such a good time. Listen, I got it again. I'm gonna thank this stupid. Get this thing off the screen. What we're gonna do, guys, is first of all, I want to thank Oliva again. Oliva gave me a driver, a interpreter.
Shout out Leo.
Leonardo. Leonardo. I just talked to him today.
Nice.
And he was our interpreter and guide, so to speak, if you want to call it that. And we had carte blanche in Oliva factories, all of their factories. They have multiple
was it?
factories.
What? Carte blanche?
We had carte blanche. Carte blanche means you had anything you wanted.
Oh, okay.
Wow, that's an age gap, guys.
I was like, I didn't get that. Whatever
You
that
got
was, I
carte
didn't
blanche,
get that.
man.
Yeah.
We were taken care of in a big way. Now, don't get me wrong. We were in a third world country, so we didn't have hot water. We didn't, there's certain things we didn't have. I mean, really. But you know what? It really went. We found that bar. Once we found that bar, and I love this, guys. In Nicaragua, there's no, let's close at 2. You have to, because the the cops are
Yeah,
coming.
the license and everything. No,
They
it's
don't
lit.
do anything. You can be
awesome.
12 and go to that bar. They don't give a crap.
They like show up to the bar, and you're like, "What time do they close?" They're like, "What?"
Yeah,
And you're
yeah.
like, "What time do they stop serving liquor?" And they're like,
When we leave.
They're like, "There's a language barrier here. Like, I have no idea what you're saying."
Yeah, of course.
And then we learned that it's whenever they stop making money.
Well, yeah, whenever people leave.
It's great.
I mean, pretty much. It was, I'll tell you what, Nick, I learned a lot. First of all, the flight wasn't bad. It's only 2.5 hours. But we had to travel. It was a 12-hour travel trip because we had to drive 2.5, almost 3 hours from my house to Miami Airport. Yeah. Then from Miami Airport, we took a 2.5-hour flight. Then we had another 4 hour. It took 4 hours, but it's about a 3-hour ride up the mountains from the capital. Where'd we go?
Starts with an M. Managua.
Managua? Is it
Managua?
Yeah, Managua to
Esteli.
Esteli. And that's up in the mountains, 3.5 hours. Now, we were on what they call the Pan American Highway, which is the highway that goes all the way from Texas all the way to Colombia, all the way into South America.
That's dope. I never knew that was
you can drive there. People don't know you can drive.
No.
And I tell you what, it is a 2-lane road that is unbelievably crap, and just the whole experience was eye-opening. And boy, I'll tell you what.
The roads weren't that bad, actually.
Oh, come on. There was no shoulders. There's no one guy
I'm
driving 12 miles an hour.
I'm talking about potholes.
Oh, there was a lot of potholes. You had the bounce in the car. Was doing blah, 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 blah. I was drunk because I was drunk and I was sleeping in the back.
You weren't awake more than... I could put like a screen time on in the car while we were down there, and I bet it did not push over 15 minutes.
Oh, you're talking about the trips up and back.
Like you being awake.
Only that
Not because
trip.
you were drunk, just being asleep,
Well,
during...
you know how
you're busy. All day you're talking and using brain function.
Oh.
And so as soon as you got in the car, bam.
I was
Lights
nonstop,
out.
everybody. And I mean that. When I say nonstop, learning about this whole entire... unbelievable what I learned about how the process, and believe me, I know a lot about cigars, but boy, did I learn a lot even, and you learned. I got to roll cigars. Yeah. We have cigars. I was thinking of actually giving them away, maybe a couple of them to some fans. No,
I'm just kidding.
I think we should do that.
Let's go get him.
I think he's going to get a few. I don't know why, but just to show him. Yeah. And come out of the fridge anyway. Yeah, well, I mean, we learned the process of the cigars. We rolled our own. We got to do the filler. Then we got to do the caps. We did the whole roll from the wrapper. Now, you got to remember, my cigar, just to let everybody know, we have a Cameroon wrapper. Cameroon wrapper is a very thin wrapper, but it's a very flavorful wrapper. And I'll tell you what, it is so good, this wrapper, that it's amazing. And, Nick, is something going on with that camera? Keeps flashing on the front. Watch up in the top left. Just watch that.
Keep saying portrait.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know. See that, guys? I don't even know that. But we are...
we don't even have to wait.
Huh? What is that? Oh, that's our cigars that I rolled and Nick rolled. And then we had what they call an inspector. Inspect our cigars.
Quality control.
Quality control person. Yeah. And we pretty much failed miserably.
It's awesome.
And these guys, each person rolls about 300 cigars a day. And how many do they have in that one fact? 400? I think there were 400 rollers in that.
Oh, I thought it was way more than that.
No, in that one factory. They have three
there's
factories.
Just room?
No, there wasn't 400 in that room. There was. I think they said they had 400 rollers in that one factory there, and they had so many factories. They have
and
three
they're all
factories,
pumping out at least 350 a day.
300 to 300 to 400 cigars.
The top one was what?
Day. He said they do about 150,000 to 200,000 cigars per day.
But the full cigar is like what? I think the highest was 450.
Yeah, somebody who rolled 450, yeah. And they get paid by that. So that's how the industry works. I'll tell you what, it's a laborious job, but they're there for generations. People do that for generations, which is
Okay, so if you see the footage, the footage to me it looks great because I know the stories, I know what they're doing, I know who they're helping. So when you see the footage, just know that everyone in the factory, what did they say, actually makes probably some of the most money in.
Yeah, they're like high-paid people in Nicaragua.
Because when we look at the salary, we're like, that's not that much. And then they're like, it actually is.
In Nicaragua, it's a third world country, people. And it's a communist country, too. So they told me, Larry, don't joke around. And you know me, I wanted to go out into the middle of the floor and sing the national anthem.
No,
we'd be in jail. You remember I said that?
I don't.
But
I'm happy I don't.
I did, but I didn't do that. We were treated very nice. I went with Laura, a great fan of the show, and one of my best friend's wife. She's our best friend, too. She's the best. And we went with Nick and I, and so we had a great time. I'm telling you, if you could do something, if you're a cigar smoker, and they have these things, there's tours and people go and stuff, you got to go there. If you really want to understand the cigar business and why you pay X amount of dollars. Listen, my cigars are $10.50, $11.50, $12 a cigar, which is actually not bad. You know it now. Because, I mean, cigars go for $20, $18, $30, depending on the cigar. And people...
Largest hand rolled?
All hand rolled. Actually, Oliva is the biggest hand-rolled cigar company in the world. Yeah. And they're the third largest company. Unbelievable company. They had medical facilities at every factory.
I didn't see one machine.
There is no machine
touching a cigar product.
No, all hand.
You know, the only machines there are like freezers.
Yeah, well, I mean, they have to get,
and like faucets. There's no like robots.
No.
You know, there's no robots touching the cigar, which to me, I didn't notice until like the end of it, where I was like, I haven't seen one machine here the whole time. Even counting them, even put the labels, the little labels.
Oh, they put them all on by hand.
You'd think that they would throw all the handmade cigars into a machine that separates them, packs them, and puts a label on them.
To the box, to the making of the boxes. Oliva is a company that actually makes their own to seal them. In fact, Oliva is the only company there that actually makes its own boxes, too. They don't farm. They do it all. They make humidors and everything. It is just... listen, I'm a cigar guy, and everybody knows that. So I will tell you one thing. I am happy that our cigar is made there, and that's why it is so good, and that's why we're getting such rave reviews about the cigar. And I'm proud of that. And listen, it's my name. When I got into this, and Oliva wanted me to do this, and I'll tell you what, guys, I couldn't be happier because I wanted a class product. I told them I don't want, from the box to the cigar to the lettering to everything, the felt on the bottom, everything. They make these boxes and they make everything first class. You agree with that? I mean,
I think I saw about every box they made and ship out.
No, they make custom made ones, you know.
Just about. I saw a lot of them.
Oh,
this one
crazy.
For sure is the coolest.
Nick got some great footage, man, and I saw some of it, guys. You're gonna see. He put a camera on they had a conveyor belt.
Yeah, that was the biggest machine they had. Was a conveyor belt. At the end of the entire process, they put the finished package that is already labeled and shipped. They put the package on the conveyor belt to go to the truck.
Yeah,
that's the only machine there.
Unbelievable. I'm not kidding you guys. I had the one of the greatest experiences, and that was only a couple of weeks ago, really. 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, was it? Yeah, we got back on a Friday.
Yeah, almost last.
A couple Fridays ago. Matter of fact, only one and a half weeks.
Yeah.
So, but I loved it, and I learned a lot, and I'm glad I went. Matter of fact, Sam, the manager here, who's been on the show, you guys know Sam Jordan, he's going to go. Mike's gonna go. We got to send the guys who work in this company. I think Dan and those guys out in Boston should go. It's something I think everybody should go to. If you're in this business, you should go there.
And I'm still confused.
Yeah, well, you're not confused.
I'm not confused, but it's a mind blowing
You realize why it costs so much for a cigar, though, right?
Like Amazon logistics, the cigar logistics with timing, how they're like, all right, we're going to plant the seed. The seed's going to grow in 2 months, but then after that 2 months, the leaf has to be held for 3 years here, 5 years here, and then after 10 years, we can go.
In fact, we met one of only two people. We met one of only 2 people in the world who is he's got an engineering master's degree in genetics. Genetic engineering of seeds. And the way they developed, within 2 years, Oliva's going to be no more pesticides, no more fertilizers.
I
Amazing.
was gonna bring that up.
Huh?
Yeah. Hey guys, I don't. Oh no, they're private. Never mind. I was gonna be like, dump some stock, dude. They're gonna be the first tobacco product that is organic.
Yes.
Like 100%.
100% organic.
From seed to smoke, no chemicals are gonna touch it.
Nothing, even in the ground. I mean, unbelievable.
I know I can say because I'm not gonna explain it right, but they've already told all the other companies they literally engineered a different way of planting the plant where they take the soil and they flip it all upside down. So all the bugs die.
Yeah, and they're skimming it. They have to actually invent or manufacture a special tobacco that can do that. And we met, the guy from Miami.
They're like, we learned that the bugs actually grow at 2 feet where the roots are the healthiest.
It's amazing what we learned.
Flip the soil, which I still don't understand.
Well, we're bringing that to you.
Get it. Yeah.
I'm narrating them now, and they're going to be coming. And here's a couple of things we did. Well, this is dead. Look at this, everybody. If you're on either Spotify or the channel, you have to look at this. This is a Nicaraguan, I don't know, it's like a voodoo doll.
It's got to be a voodoo.
Listen, we get this. We go to a shop to get some stuff, which I got for my grandkids and stuff. And I get this thing. Now listen, where did we get this? No, we got this at the white party.
Yeah. These are my favorite souvenirs, are the ones that we took.
Yeah. We ended up commandeering some souvenirs they had a major white party, 300 people?
That's cool.
It was amazing. Everybody's dressed in white. It was amazing. And this thing was on one of the things, one of the centerpieces, like, it's got a bullet hole in the head, in the middle, right in the forehead. I said, I got to take that one. But is this crazy? I love this. I had to keep this. And of course, I told Nick he's getting a raise.
Oh,
so
I forgot about that.
I'm going to give Nick
this is from the Pizza Hut we bought.
I'm giving Nick, watch this bonus he's getting. 100, 150, 70, 180. The money of Nicaragua, he's getting 180.
You're joking.
Right there.
You're joking.
Listen, I got to give it to you. I'll even give you the change.
No.
But,
are you serious, man?
Yes, Nick,
Why
it's
me?
for you. I think you can send it to your
All right,
mom.
we're gonna
tell her
cut
to
to
invest
some
it or something.
emotional Mr. Beast music right now.
Mr.
Why me,
Beast.
man?
Mr. Beast should give it. Put it this way, everybody.
Are you serious?
Right there, it's worth.
Are you serious?
Yes, you can have it all.
I get to spend the day with my kid tomorrow now.
Absolute. That is $5.20. It's $5.20. Believe me.
That's cool though.
Nick, tell them what happened.
Money.
I was in the factories. Now I was in the factories for 2 straight days filming, getting carte. Like I said, carte blanche means to anybody young like Nick. I had access to whatever I needed. Anyway, Nick, I was giving out. Tell them what I was giving out. $20 American $20 bills. Nick,
yeah.
do you remember?
Yeah.
So I was giving out $20 bills. So I was at an event. Give me my money back. I was at
so perfect.
We're sending it to your mom. So, all right, Jamie, you're getting it. So you can tell Jamie she's getting it. So anyway, people, I was in the factory, and every time I pulled a worker away, since they work on piecework, I didn't want to really let them lose money. So what I did was I was giving them $20 bills, American $20 bills.
To film, like when we needed to film.
You do anything. I needed help.
Like when we were rolling cigars and we took somebody's station.
Right.
And had them
exactly.
teach us.
So I'm giving people $20 bills, and of course Fidel, the people, the head, the big guys up in Oliva, they're going, "Are you kidding me? You're giving them $20 bills." Think about that when you think about $20. But he goes, "You just gave him a week, not a week, but a couple of days salary at least."
No, it was a week. We did it's a week.
I don't know what it was, but it was a lot. And I gave $600.
It was a week, about a half week.
I gave $600 in $20 bills out. And you know what? It was the best spent money.
You kept referring to the ATM.
Yeah, I went to an ATM. They have an ATM in the place.
You didn't say ATM one time the entire trip. And all I kept hearing you say was money machine. Oh, they got a money machine here.
Is that what I said?
It's all you said the whole trip. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then I would see you disappear. And then Laura would recite Money Machine. And I was like, I have no idea. But like, until the very end where, you know,
I went
and
in
the
there with
last
you.
day, I was like, what the hell is a money machine, dude? Like, what are you talking about?
I went into where the employees
It's
have
an
a lounge.
ATM.
They have an ATM machine that actually spits out American money or Nicaraguan money. And
See how like amazed you still are like making this concept?
wow, because listen where we were.
It's called an ATM.
Nick, we're in a
You were
third
so-
world
I
country
know,
in
and
the
you-
mountains.
You kept coming up to me every time you'd use the ATM and be like, dude, they have a money machine that gives me.
Well, I put my card in there, you know. I mean,
But
it
you were
cost me.
so hyped.
And did you know it cost me like $3?
That's yeah. Here you go down to some random. It's $3.75. Almost normal thing.
Well, I didn't know that. Anyway.
I know you kept coming back like it was the newest invention.
Well, usually, you know,
And
I always carry cash.
You were so hyped about it that I thought that there was a new invention the whole trip. So I was like, this money machine sounds pretty cool, dude.
Well, we're
And
literally
you took me to it, and I was like, this is called an ATM.
we're literally in a third world communist country, people. I mean, it was really eye opening, to be honest with you. And I'll tell you what, we didn't see hospitals or anything like that. Did you ever see a cop? I don't think I saw a cop.
I
Did we?
saw one or two, yeah.
I mean, I don't think
But they were like trucks, like little broke down trucks. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
They
it
didn't
was
look like
not. Listen, they had
sheriffs,
cows on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Literally, where you're walking, like the people are walking
To
that
the point-
cow, and the cows
Yeah.
look bad. Come on.
Oh
the
yeah,
cow-
no, and that's the thing, because we for like 2 days thought that they were just like wild cows on the side of the road until I was like, you know, I keep seeing a farmer, and we realized that the farmers
feeding them.
take the cows out to the public road and make them eat all the weeds, which
Right,
is
the
smart as
grass and
hell.
weeds, yeah, exactly. So
it's
they
either
can-
going to be overgrown because no one's going to cut it, or you feed your cattle for free.
Yeah, it was unbelievable, it really was. Then we went to a couple of nice restaurants, and as one friend said, he goes, "Listen." Nick goes, "Yeah, they didn't know how to cook the meat. I wanted mine medium
Oh,
rare."
yeah,
The guy goes, "You are lucky." He goes, "Remember, there's no USDA." Not yet.
Oh, yeah, I was lucky.
These are hours that we rolled in Nicaragua, and as you can see, this is one of mine that passed inspection. Nick's didn't.
You said, see the one next to Nick? That one's shit.
Yeah, that failed. But anyway, I think we should give some away. Oh, have a couple of friends like Bob, Cabby
Yeah,
Bob,
yeah.
have him on.
I mean, okay, I'm not being a
Kyle,
dick or
I think
anything.
Kyle should come on.
I think everyone here listening to this, do you think that it's like something that we should spend $11 in shipping to send one cigar to someone?
No, we're smoking with guys around here.
Oh, I
Or
thought you were
I'm
like, let's do a giveaway. I was
No,
like, that sounds
What we're gonna
so-
do? No, what we're gonna do is
Like-
guys we know. Anybody who watches the show. How about Jeremy? You know, my first when he was on the podcast, he's a good guy. He went to prison. One of my first 50 followers, and I'll have him come on if he'll smoke. He's a great guy. A bunch of people. I think I said Kyle and Bob. And Paul, my nephew, and guys like that, I think are going to get cigars. We're going to smoke with them and see what they think of my cigar. Now, let me tell you another thing, what was pretty cool. So, anyway, we learned all about our cigar, how it is made, everything. I mean, from, again, seed to sale. And we learned a ton. People think they know until you've been there. I mean, we capped the cigars. We did everything. You remember that?
Yeah, you say 300 hands touch it. That's crazy. But also you have to say...
That's true.
That
No, I'm not lying.
How
I mean,
many
they told us.
miles did we travel between every building in Nicaragua?
Wow. Well, they have so many
You
factories.
know,
Leave
like,
is so big.
I just want to, like, if you think it's one building that's doing this, no, it's like...
Well, Leave is the biggest company there.
But what I'm saying is, like, the farm is 70 miles away from the factory. The factory is 40 miles away from the box factory.
Was it 70? It wasn't 70. maybe
I'm just
30,
saying,
but
it was like...
it was a long way.
You know, it's like 50 minutes just to the farm, to the factory, and then to the box factory, and then to the hanging factory, and then to the
When we went to the
sorting
farm,
factory.
remember that when we went high up and we got to look
Yeah.
at? You're going to see some great stuff, guys, coming out. Not only that, it was like Nick said, we went everywhere. In fact, Oliva has the biggest building in Nicaragua. 182,000 square foot. To put that in perspective, a Walmart is about 90,000 square feet. About 90,000.
Yeah, yeah.
And this building is 182,000 square feet. Think of the size of that building. It's just
And
massive.
When you walk into these buildings, you get hit in your lungs instantly with tobacco.
Yeah, and Laura had a tough
Instantly.
time with that.
I was fighting.
Not
was
me. I
fighting.
loved it.
Oh, I was fighting there.
I loved it.
You know, I couldn't just. Oh,
And
I was
it
fighting.
beat you, and now you smoke
I was
cigars.
fighting. No, I still would fight in there. Like it's a potent.
Yeah, and it's
You
a
know?
tobacco. It's like a raw tobacco.
And you
It-
feel it like right in your chest, right when you walk in.
I liked it. I mean, I know it was rough on Laura, and
Oh, it was rough there. I was fighting.
I
was
didn't
getting
mind
hit.
it at all. I
Like,
really
I
didn't.
I was getting
smelled it.
nauseous. Like every couple hours, I'd get super nauseous. My head would hurt. But that's because I've never smoked tobacco.
we got some nice leather
you know?
bags.
Yeah.
Remember the bags we got? We got a bunch of stuff we got.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're going to see a lot of stuff coming
Pretty
out
cool
about
concept.
Nicaragua. We're going to have it like that.
So
Now,
I'd like to see where
I'd like to jump ship here for a second, if that's okay.
next time I go after I smoke cigars and the tobacco, how hard it would hit me.
You mean next time you go?
Yeah.
We're definitely
That's
going back.
kind of where the end of that was.
Nick, you know what Nick did? He did really good. He got 3 ladies of the night Snapchats.
Oh yeah.
It's ladies of the night Snapchats. I said, Nick, why are you getting their Snapchats? Well, I'll be back. Nick, all you need is money.
That's not how.
Nick,
that
are you going to keep
That's
pulling
not how
that
any
and
of that
moving that?
story
Or are
went.
you going to...
Well, you didn't hit an over under. You could have had some money on the line tonight. man.
It's going to be over no matter what I
You could have
say.
had some money.
Let me go now to another...
But tell the story like next time we tell it. That's not how it went at all.
The what?
At all.
What are you talking about? I know Nick is...
The ladies of the night.
Nick had a little of that
No,
today.
not yet.
Oh, he did. Okay, now there he goes.
No,
Okay,
we were on a no. I mean, if we're being real, we were on a topic of ladies of the nights. Then you got distracted because I moved mine, and now we're just moving topics after.
Well, the
instead
ladies
of
of the night-
finishing the ladies of the night.
Listen, we went to there's a bar called Famous. That's the bar there, the best place there. And every night, well, for a few nights, we went there every night. And in fact, when we left for the airport, we had an early morning flight, so we ended up leaving from the bar at 4 a.m. to head down to Managua to go to the airport to come back to America. And I'll tell you what, thank you, America. I'll tell you, their customs was great. Everybody, we flew right through. I mean, we're not bringing anything, obviously, but it wasn't a big deal. I mean, it was, we got really through quickly, and I don't know. I think that country could be a beautiful country if they really started putting money into it, hotels and nice places, and because there's a lot. The scenery was just off the charts. The mountains we're up in the mountains, man. I mean, we were literally in the mountains we were actually we ended up going north because south was Managua. I think it was. I think that's where we had to actually go away from America to actually drive back up the plane. But we had a great time. So if you want to know anything about that, just check us out. We have a bunch of stuff. We're going to have pictures coming out. We're going to have a whole bunch of stuff. Now, let me go on to another great topic. Okay, before we get to the Super Bowl, we have a problem here. We get back from Nicaragua, and this is breaking my heart right now. And I want to show him right now. Nick, can you put him on? My man... And our mascot, Mordie, it's Mordie, Mordie, is our mascot, and he is the cigar mascot for this cigar company, Crooked Diamond Cigars. And Mordie is now disabled. Let me tell you what happened. I don't know if you know, Mordie is a bulldog pit, correct?
Yeah, he's an American bulldog.
American bulldog with pit in him, correct? Yeah. And
That's all it is.
okay. And when I tell you guys something, Mordie is amazing to me. I mean, I think he is just, I love this dog. I fell in love with this dog. It's Nick's dog originally. Now it's mine. I took him on. No, it's Nick's dog. He is, Nick. Let me tell you something about Mordie.
Mordie is
can't
high.
walk.
Mordie is high.
Right now.
Yes,
We got him on CBD.
which is good. No, tomorrow he will be.
And we have him on some other painkillers. Mordie's ACL, that's what it is. Both. Well, first his right ACL went out.
Yeah, so the day before we left for Nicaragua, he started limping. Remember?
Yeah, he started limping.
Yeah.
We thought it was just typical, arthritis that he had.
Yeah.
He played with some kids around here that know me, and they came over, and he was running around with them, and he came up lame, but we thought it was arthritis. He's only 5 though, but this is common in this breed. And he ended up, got back, and he could not walk, could not put any pressure, anything on his leg. Well, we had to take him to the vet, which we did, and they said, they took x-rays, they did the whole works, and he ended up having a torn ACL, which is bad. It's common, but bad.
And just his right leg.
Just his
That's
right
all
leg.
they told us.
Nick ended up seeing him break the other, literally tear the other one. He is lame. This poor dog cannot.
It was the same. So we took him to the vet. They're like, he tore his ACL, right?
X-rays don't work.
Yeah, they gave him the X-rays. They put him under anesthesia, gave him X-rays. Like, all right, he tore his ACL. They all do. And I was like, okay, someone told me they would. Okay, cool. He's like, they tore his ACL, but here's the thing. Here's some puppy Advil that doesn't really do much, and the surgery is not for another month and some change.
Right,
I was like,
about 5 weeks
I was
or
like,
something.
holy cow, okay.
Well, no.
I was like, we can deal with one leg, I guess, until then. Right when we came home,
From the vet.
Right when we get home from the vet, I get him out of the car. I put him in the RV. He sits, there for a couple hours. Then he has to go to the bathroom. Last step he takes. He tears his other ACL on the same day.
And guys, if you have a pet, I have 2 cats as well, which is I have my Molly and Daisy cats, and we have Mordie. And I will tell you what breaks your heart when you see he was dragging. It broke my heart.
They're screaming.
We luckily have our friend Laura, who is very close with the vet, and got us an appointment.
And
today.
the whole roller coaster, if we want to backtrack, like right before this whole leg situation, he had an awful infection on his front leg that we had to spend $500 on antibiotics and draining and the yards.
Most people I would have put down.
And then the second he gets done with that bottle of pills, he tears his ACL, gets another bottle of pills, comes home from the doctor, and tears his other ACL.
And listen, this poor dog could not walk.
He still can't. Yeah, he
And,
can't walk.
and I will tell you guys, we're getting him a harness. Forget the money is off the charts. I said we need to go fund me page for this dog, but no, we're gonna handle him. It's expensive, but he is part of the family here. And I will tell you something. This dog is the sweetest dog and a great watchdog. Anybody came to that door will know. And he's great. He really is. He's part of this family now. And I will tell you, Laura, thank God for Laura. She got us hooked up with a vet.
Yeah.
And we got the surgery
Because it was
put up till next week.
Emergency.
Well, we try to keep going with that vet. They won't answer us.
But the thing is, shout out to Laura, I couldn't even call an ER. Laura texted me and was like, everything all right? And I was like, no. She's like, all right, give me a second.
She's the best.
Then it was like, all right, you got an appointment at 10 a.m. Be there.
We had an appointment this morning at
Laura
10.
was better than the ERs around here, dude.
Yeah. Laura got us an appointment with her vet, and they're going to do the surgery next week. And that's about a 12-week healing process, and then they're going to do the other one. And they told us right out, the surgery has a very high success rate, which is why we're doing it, and you can't do them together. So we're going to do one, and then the other one after. And for the money is, listen, I don't spend that money on me. But listen, Nick, he's part of this family, and no matter what we got to do.
I could buy 3 dirt bikes, Mordie.
Yeah, you could.
3 of them. I could buy 2 1000s.
Every time
Come on.
we went to the vet, it was $500. I mean, you
been
blink.
a nerd. He's been a little weak nerd his whole life, Larry. When I got him, he was allergic to grass.
He still is.
He broke
We know
out
that.
into hives every time the temperature got over 85 degrees.
He's doing good here, though.
He would break out into actual blisters, and I had to go through this whole string of vets who they'd give him these sprays that he'd scream because there's like alcohol. So all I did was like a super YouTube simple like hives, and they're like, hey, baby eczema oatmeal baths.
And it worked.
I gave him
YouTube.
Every Sunday, I gave him a little baby eczema oatmeal bath for like a year. And then after that, he was done.
He still has it a little. You can see it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude. I'll show you some pictures. It looks like he's like a wart. Like, bullfrog
he's a
with all
survivor,
warts.
and he's dragging himself around. And I will tell you what, guys, it's sad to see, and I'm so glad we all are supporting him. My mom, my brother, my sister, they're all calling here. How's Mordie? How's Mordie? How's Mordie?
Oh, David's heart grew. It didn't grow, but it showed like
David
4,000 times.
It's metal. No,
Holy
I love my brother.
cow!
He's been on a roll.
It got to the point where I was like, David, I am just as freaked out. I know, please, Dave.
No, he's
I was
right.
like, and I loved it because I was like, wow, Dave, like,
You know us guys.
no, that's what I'm saying. That's my whole point. Because
Yeah.
I am like the most worried out of everyone. But then it was David, even more worried than me.
My sister I just talked
You
to.
know?
My mother. Oh,
I was like, oh, Jesus,
She loves
David.
Mordie.
I was like, David, take a breath.
How about Mom?
You know? Yeah.
my mom loves Mordie because Mordie is just like my mom. He'll sit there and do nothing. But
He retains. He's retaining.
and you know what? He's gonna be all right. I could see it. We're giving him a lot of drugs, which hey, we have that here. No, I actually asked the vet today. I said, "Hey, can I give the a little pot or something?" She goes, "No, don't give the dog pot."
Which you've already asked me multiple times.
But you're not a doctor.
Yeah, I just know.
Oh,
you know?
you are all knowing, Nick.
Larry, it's probably common knowledge. I thought
Why?
to everyone.
I used
because
to-
okay, well, do you want to know why the THC like compound doesn't react the same way in humans than it does?
But
dogs?
how did you know that?
Because I looked it up sophomore year when someone came in and were like, "You killed my dog. You left your eighth of weed on the floor, and now my dog is dead."
Really?
And I
That
was
happened?
like, "You dumb bitch. That is not a real thing." And I was like, "You sound like an idiot. You know that, right?" And I got into this big fight with someone. Being
you were
like,
wrong.
Being like, "You know how dumb you sound? Like you're dumb. You're wrong. You're dumb." And I'm calling this girl dumb as her dog just died and a vet told her the reason, And I'm sitting here like, "You sound dumb," And then I looked dumb as hell. And then flash forward 10 years later, 7 years later, I'm making edibles. This is a long time ago. I don't know, 5 years ago. I'm making edibles. I gave Mordie one, like, honeycomb. The cereal? Like that cereals? One. Just being like, oh, that won't do nothing. Upstairs in a corner, shaking, vomiting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had to call the
I wonder
vet.
if they could use cocaine or heroin or something
I
like
don't
that.
know. We got to
No, and the only reason I'm asking,
it's true.
because they're drugs that
because-
help people.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
we all know
the
that.
same thing is because you would think that you could just, because cats, you can blow smoke in their face and give them weed. It's just totally fine.
In fact, people know me. I smoke marijuana. I have a medical marijuana license, and it does help my back. There's no question it does. You know that. And I have a very bad back. Matter of fact, my mom didn't know how bad my back was. She remembers she's starting to lose it. She goes, "Oh my God!" She looked at my X-rays, my mom, and she
Tonight?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't. Yes, you did, Ma. I had 3 major surgeries on my back. But anyway.
Hey, what I think? What I hope that feels like? I hope that feels like, and if I get there, I hope it feels like, when you watch an entire show of something and you're done from season 1 to season 5, and then your best friend just starts season 1 and you're like, I wish I had that same feeling of not knowing what this show was about and re-experiencing it.
No, I don't know.
No,
what
you've
you're
never
saying.
thought that about a show?
No.
All right, comment below. I know other people have.
Okay.
Especially if you watch shows.
Wow. Okay. Well,
Like Goodfellas, the first time you ever saw Goodfellas.
Goodfellas is a movie. It was a movie.
Cool, whatever. No, it doesn't matter.
Now, you're talking
Whatever
about a
you
show
experience-
like
but
Sopranos
what I'm saying is
or-
whatever you experience for the first time. There's always that inkling of you wanting to experience it for the first time again. Just like a trip, like some trip if you took a trip, and started tripping.
Right, no, I
it's like, that's the best trip ever. I wish I
could-
could feel that way again.
I could
about
equate
it.
it to this. I'm a reader, and matter of fact,
A
Laura.
book. I wish I never read that book again. I could do
Yeah.
it again. That's the exact same thing. I guess I should.
Laura sent
it wasn't
me a
just
book
like
today,
a TV
Clive
show.
Cussler.
There we go. That's the exact feeling I'm trying to get to.
And now I want to read them because I was just thinking back to some of the books I
And
read.
there's a part of you feel like I wish
love reading.
I wish it was all like a. It was
It's a
brand
shame
new.
I don't read books like that because they're just like total get away from the world books. Now I read a lot of, like, you know me, I'm a read
Articles
junkie.
and stuff, yeah.
I'm reading articles. I read this damn recipes on the back. I read the instructions and the ingredients on boxes. I mean, I'm just a read nut like that. And but let's just say this, hopefully, and we're going to keep a report on Mordie. Mordie, there he is. Mordie, oh my God, it makes me almost want to cry. But
I did, last night.
Mordie is out. Mordie is part of the family, and everybody who knows anything about animals will understand what I just said.
Guys, he weighs 87 pounds.
Wow.
And I have to...
Well, you got to carry him. I can't. My back.
He's 87 pounds, guys. I am...
150.
150. Zero muscle. And I have to deadlift him off the floor to...
I'll lift him on the couch and
the
stuff.
The furthest point of the yard because he's a shy bathroom goer.
Yeah.
He won't do it
Mordie
in front
won't
of
go to the
people.
bathroom in front of
So I
people.
have to lay him in the shadows where no one can see him and walk away.
Oh, did he go tonight?
He didn't go poop tonight. No.
It's all right. He's not eating.
So now
like,
it's been over
Nick,
24
he's not
hours.
eating like he's doing good.
Yeah,
I can
know,
see him
but-
wagging his tail sometimes. I'm happy.
No, he's good. He's just... I
he's
can't
gonna be
feed him
all right.
regularly because he's not going to the bathroom regularly.
And I feel so good that we got to the doctors and they told us everything and everything else. So that's the Mordie update. Now I'm going to go another update. You're going to like this update, Nick. I was just on a show, guys, called Hustlers, Gamblers, and Crooks. Not even end. Hustlers,
weird. No
Gamblers,
ends.
Crooks.
It's weird.
It's on Discovery and it's on HBO Plus, was it? I think it was.
So it's on HBO Max,
Oh,
who
HBO
hosts
Max.
Discovery. Yeah.
And Discovery, and it came out. There was a whole. There was 3 of us on the show. Mine, I thought was the best. I mean, it was the longest for sure.
Of course, it was the best.
But
Come on now.
it actually came out. You could see it on Facebook. You're gonna see it. Matter of
Season
fact, you're
1,
gonna see
episode
us a
3.
lot on Facebook. We got something going with Facebook. Also, guys, we have. I'm coming out on a show on. It's called My True Crime Story, and it is on VH1. That's season 3 started already. They did a whole episode on me. I'm dying to see how they did that.
Now all we have
Desma.
yeah. Oh, so Paramount Plus, it probably is on. So just for everyone who watches streaming platforms, it's probably going to be on streaming or
VH1
Paramount Plus. Yeah,
Oh yeah, Paramount. It'd probably
because
be on
they
Paramount.
own them.
Yeah, they own them.
So I would think. I
Yeah,
don't
they
know
bought them
facts,
out.
but,
They
you know,
bought them out. Exactly.
That's like
right.
saying, I'm pretty sure HBO Max now owns.
Also,
or they have a big deal together.
I'm going to say something, but I can't say who. I just
shouldn't close.
did a major podcast with somebody most people will know who he is. And it's not Joe Rogan, just let me emphasize that. But it's
Just
somebody
one
very major.
Step down.
Not much. No.
No, I just said, one step down.
Yeah, and the guy was...
Which is an incredible step to be.
All I'm going to
like-
say this, guys, I did a 5.5-hour interview with him. And I'll tell you the truth. It was great. He really was a great guy. I really was impressed. I'm gonna go see him where he's at, and he was really good. Did you enjoy that day?
Yeah.
We traveled to South Florida to do it at the Ritz-Carlton, and we had a lot of fun.
Which he's probably never going to go back to.
Why not?
We can tell. Yeah. I mean, there was no Wi-Fi in the whole
Oh,
building.
yeah, the Wi-Fi sucked. I'm glad he had that.
His team, our team.
Yeah.
We kept going down to the offices like, guys, we have to do this. Like, there's just like...
It
we
was
gotta
kind of
get something
funny because
going,
we're used to it. We live in Central Florida on the East Coast.
But
near
it's
the Space Center.
funnier, too, because he's also used to it, so it makes us more kind of like... we can do better, for sure, but everyone is dealing with that upload, you know?
Well,
like,
some people are. Most people, anybody who's got fiber optic is not dealing with it. That's
what I'm
for sure.
saying, if you're a content creator, you're going to be on the road, and you're dealing with it.
And we are going on the road. A matter of fact, I'm doing a lot. Matter of fact, I'm going back. Nick and I just were on the phone with some production companies. I'm going to be going to L.A. in March, mid-March. I'm going to L.A. again in beginning of April to do some TV shows that are going to be pretty fun to do. And the reason I like doing these, one is because the deal I make with them is I can use the content so we could put it up after they put it up or whatever it is. I'm a little pissed about this one, but it worked out. Yeah. But the guy, you heard me talk to him right on the phone, what we'll do it for. It's not about the money. It's about...
Here's the thing. I just don't think that they, for one... Never mind.
Go ahead, say it. You can say it.
I don't think they have the right to give you the permission when you're talking to that person. I know that actually they don't have the right to tell you that. And then the second thing is I don't think they're fully comprehending what you're saying. And then they're at the last stretch of the deal. So
I
they're just
thought
saying,
they were very confident. I mean, he understood what I said. I made it very clear. You heard me.
I hear you, but what I
agree. He might not have the permission.
And then also the full, like, him just being like, yeah, I'm pretty positive I can get that off. When, like, me, no.
Well, that's like
kind
us.
of, this
but
week
here's
I've
the
just been
difference
like,
is,
it makes sense.
here is the difference us. When I do a podcast with anybody, and if they want to use that content, I give them permission.
Yeah.
Not only permission, we'll give them the raw footage.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way we are. Why not? I try to help most people. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be doing a couple of small podcasts for people. Missy asked me to do one for a friend. Yeah. And I'm going to do it because I like to do them anyway. But also, Nick wants to do a podcast with me where he actually questions me. Or is it?
Oh, yeah, I'll interview.
Yeah. Like he interviews me.
I'm wrapping you in. Sorry. If I'm doing it, I get full reign to. I'm not Tucker Carlson. All right.
Yeah.
I get full reign.
What
to
a
just be
terrible
like,
interviewer. I gotta say,
right
Tucker
here.
Carlson's terrible. He even was terrible with Putin.
See, now if this was our interview, I would hope I have all right to be like, all right, let's drag it back to the topic we're talking about.
You do.
And as soon as I do
Doesn't
it,
mean I'll listen.
And then I'll just do it again. Like, all right, we're right here. Because I know when me and you talk, like off the mic, and
you hear some crazy
I have
stuff.
like a way of just being like, okay, what you just said, I get it, but what I'm trying to say, when I'm just trying to figure out that deeper thing going on, and then we finally get to it, and I'm like, yes, that is what I'm talking about. And you're like, oh, yeah.
It's funny because...
Just because I have to like, just like searching something up on the internet. You're like Google, dude. Like, if that keyword search doesn't work, I have to kind of like pick words around and like rephrase it, and then once it clicks, I'm like, that's what I'm trying to ask. And it's probably mostly me.
Do you remember I just did something where I was telling a bunch of stories? It might have been Nicaragua, where I was telling stories to people and you were like, oh, wow, I didn't hear that, or I didn't hear that. I forget where we were. See, what happens with me, people,
well, not me.
Yeah, it was you, because you said something about it.
It was
a lot of things that happen to me, just to let people know, is I get triggered. Obviously, somebody will tell me something, I'll open a story up, and then I'll remember, like, oh, yeah, and I'll talk about what happened there, or when someone was killed, or something happened, something, or whatever it was, I mean, it's just something with me that, it triggers. I think a few of them, maybe. I don't know. Because you remember we wrote them down, even you said, you didn't tell that story, or you didn't tell that story. And so we're going to do that. And listen, I go on a lot of podcasts. I go on a lot of shows. And
but
people ask me all this.
I think the questions, it's not even me like rewording it. It's
no, I don't want you to reword it.
No, I know. I'm just trying to figure, because I definitely have a way of questioning you when we're not like doing this, where like I ask the same question that's in this timeline, and then I kind of reword it, try to go over here to get where I'm trying to be, and then I just keep branching off, but it's the same topic.
I want people
kind of
out
like
there,
that guard where I'm like, I kept going with that guard, and it kind of got to like the root of
if
it.
people want to ask me certain questions, please just put them in a chat, put them in one of our comments.
Guys, think. He wants you to ask questions. That's awesome. Ask any question you want. I want you to fucking like think of something.
Let me
you to
explain
ask a question,
too.
and that same question you ask, I want you to like reword it again before you ask it.
I'm going to also do this with people, and I'll say this too, is Nick will tell you this. I do a lot of interviews. I do a lot of, whether it's TV, radio, or, videos. Nick, and you'll say, I never, ever prepare for any. I was on major shows. I don't prepare 1 minute. Everything I tell is the truth. Everything I tell, that. I mean, 100%. Yeah. People say, I might not have said that story because whatever. I didn't remember it. I always put it this way. I don't need to prep for a show. Yeah. I don't need. You could ask me any question you want, and it could be.
But here's
from
the
sex
other thing
to
with
drugs
all your
to
shows.
Rock and roll.
Here's the thing with all your shows that I've noticed, which is
Keep touching it. That's
It's not
you're way over.
Yeah, I mean, you should have put your bet down because I would have bet under. You know I would have. I know I would have.
You'd have lost.
You should have put your bet in.
But go ahead.
What I've noticed is, which is, there's nothing wrong with it, but when you are getting interviewed, you have, for one, the craziest stories that the people interviewing you know an idea about you, right? But never have they ever been like, hey, I've been doing like the coolest ever research on you. I know every detail of your,
No.
So
certain stories I
it
still
gets to the
can't tell.
point where they ask you a question, and then you're in this 7-story heist mission off of one question, and they are
The podcast I just
and
did.
They are an interviewer, or even Ian too. They're an interviewer who are like, this guy is 12 feet tall right now. Who am I to rein him in and ask my same question again? And to get there.
I never put off that vibe that you can't ask me anything you
No,
want.
you don't. You don't. What I'm saying is the story and how into it, people are just go, They're just tell it, man.
Well,
that's kind of what I'm getting. I'm not saying
You
you're
know who we're talking about.
I'm not
Nick
saying,
was at an interview I just did.
No,
with
it's
someone
not even
there.
them. You could go Desma, Ian, all of them there. The British people from the show that just came out. It's every single person. They're just and I'm not saying the word intimidating. That's not. I'm just these guys are holy fuck. Keep going, dude.
And hey, just let me put this out there. I've been fact checked by the biggest news organizations, the biggest federal government stuff, and I tell the truth. I'm not gonna tell a story that's not true.
And that's what I'm. But these guys aren't checking your fact checks. They're calling you in and being holy crap, this is wild.
I have to catch myself, Nick, truthfully, sometimes, because all the crazy stuff I did. And, I don't rest on laurels or any of that crap or any, meaning I don't rest on accomplishments ever that I made or anything. I don't rest. I mean, I don't even think about it sometimes, I think sometimes I'll sit back and say, man, I did live a crazy life.
Were you sitting back on your $1 million heist? How long did you sit back being I'm the fucking man, dude?
None. Matter of fact.
Not one inkling was that was cool as hell I did that.
No, when I left the store and I ended up going back towards New York to get rid of my stuff to my people, it was always takes us, 20 hours, 8, whatever it took to get from Florida or wherever I was to people I had to drop off my stuff to. I would sometimes think, man, it's a big, you're so juiced. Yeah. But I never thought, oh, I'm the best. I didn't know that, to be honest, until the FBI told me that.
Yeah.
The actual major case, I said, Matt Mullen, nice guy, said, man, you were amazing. I don't know why you didn't quit. And I get asked that a lot. And I only could say to that is it's a high that I've never had before in my life. And I've done every drug, so it's not about a drug. It's just... So
after the fence, when it's done, you're all right, I sold my diamonds, I got all my money.
I pay my guys.
You pay your guy. But when you're spending your money, your profit, you're on the low now, you're not worried, you're all in the back of your head probably thinking about your next hit. But right now, you're chilling, you're chilling. Pocket full of cash. When you go to buy your horse, when you spend it, where you that's probably a half bag of diamonds right there.
No.
Did you ever have a weighing scale of I just spent that much money. It's probably a quarter of a store I got to
never
hit
did
next.
that. What I did was when my safe got under 50,000 in my house, I knew I'd start planning. But now, remember, I had a lot of businesses as well. So I was always generating money, but I would spend more. I mean, I'd gamble. I would buy a limo.
But when you're
I'd
spending
buy
your dirty
drivers,
money, I guess my question is, when you're spending your dirty money, are you thinking every time you're spending it, you're just it's just money, whatever? At times where you oh, hell yeah, this is dirty ass money I'm buying this with.
No, I just, money was just a vehicle to do something with.
So then clearly you grew up poor. Broke as hell.
Yep.
Broke as hell. So
broke,
when you start,
I mean, for everybody in that, yes.
cool, yeah, you're broke. You're not a wealthy child, you know.
We had 5 kids, man.
Especially with 5 kids, you're eating beans. Okay, so clearly money was always something you were like, oh, it'd be cool if I had a stack of money.
No, because at 12 years old, Nick, 11, 12 years old, I started the football tickets. I started making my own money.
What I'm saying, even at one point in your entire life, at 6 years old, you were looking at like $2, $5, being like, this is some shit.
I'll be honest, I don't remember that. I remember not having money. I remember my friend Dennis. Matter of fact, we still go to lunch once a month. Him, Mark, my friends. And we talked about us as crazy kids. We would be betting $100 when not one of us had $10.
Yeah.
That's pressure. People used to say, what's pressure? You know what Lee Trevino, a golfer, once said? He goes, you know what pressure is? Playing for $20 when you had $5 in your pocket.
Yeah.
That's pressure. Not playing for $1 million because you lose it, you don't lose anything.
Yeah. You got at some point in the...
When it's coming out of your pocket,
yeah,
that's pressure.
But at some point in the road, you got desensitized to spending, making, and taking, right?
Well, you know what happened? I
Because you didn't go
so
from
much money.
At 12 years old,
no,
you were,
not then. Obviously.
I know, but at 12 years old, you can't say you were not walking around town like you were not the absolute shit, bro. Come on. You're a 12-year-old kid. Like, look at my pocket full of cash right now. Not the one person.
I'm glad you mentioned that, and I never said this until years ago. I mean, this is how
you're
hard.
12.
This is how hard
it's
it was,
okay
Nick.
to be
Hold
like,
on.
I was like
Let
the
me
shit.
answer your question. When I was abused, I think a lot changed. Now, Peter Golenbach, who wrote my first book with me, great writer. It took us 2 years to write the book. And to get things out of me, I didn't realize. Psychologists used to say it all the time.
Gotta dig.
No, psychologists used to say this is when you went crazy. Peter, my very good friend Peter Maluso said, Larry, you lost your risk meter back then.
Yeah.
Call it, meaning you just went off. You didn't think. You just you didn't give a fuck. Now, I understand that part. I never thought, I'm the man, I'm this. It was just something to do. Whether we bought booze, whether we bought drugs, whether we gambled.
But you're still a 12-year-old kid with I'm just saying, like, that's what I'm trying to get at is, like, if you dig deeper, at one point in time, you were like, holy cow, like, I'm a rich 12-year-old kid. I got this pocket full
I
of
remember
cash.
having $1,000.
I'm not saying you're not walking around, like, showing everyone, being like, you little, like, nothing. All
I
I'm
used to
saying
keep
is
it in a
your
shoebox.
head,
I used to
Larry,
keep my money in a
I
shoebox.
have videos of me being a kid flexing, like, $3,000. Like,
when you were selling drugs.
Like, when I was Bill Gates. And then there is a time frame, a switch where, like, almost overnight, where I was like, why is this video on my phone right now? Like, $3,000 is literally nothing.
Well, you know what? See, never having money, as like you say, growing up, and then I would
100%.
get money and I would put it in a shoebox. But eventually, whether it was gambling or going on a vacation or going somewhere with people and then buying the booze, even at 12, 13, 14, buying cases of beer. Like, where do you come up with them? One friend had
You're the man.
We all were hustling. So if I didn't buy it, another guy would have bought it.
Right.
And another guy would have bought it. And another guy would have bought it.
Yeah, but when you got a pocket full of cash as a 12-year-old.
You didn't,
You're
first
walking
of
around
all,
like
in
you're
New
the
York,
shit,
in the
dude.
Bronx, you didn't flex money because you were worried
I
about getting
just
robbed
said that.
yourself.
I'm not saying you're walking up to people being like, you're nothing. But you're still like, dude, I got $200 in my pocket. I probably can retire next year. Just like as like so ignorant, being like, this
Not
is
even.
so much
Let me tell you
money.
how it goes. It really does. I never thought like, oh, okay, stop. Let me take this money and invest it. It's coming easy. It's gonna go easy, kind of deal. That's poor, like you did when you were selling mushrooms.
Yeah, I know.
What I did, because I never sold drugs. I was always into the boosting and gambling and the racket, so to speak. Drugs are in the rackets. Don't get anybody twisted. But I didn't look at it like and say, oh, okay, I can make a few more dollars and buy a house. Or I could, even that older. When I wanted to buy something, I just bought it. Whether it was a boat, a van, trailers, horses, limousines, hire a driver. I just did it, and if I didn't have the money, if I didn't have the money, I'd say I gotta go rob it.
Where do you think that little switch was? Where at one point you're like, I got a pocket full of cash. I'm the shit as a little kid, to the point where like it's just gonna keep coming. You know, like.
You know, I don't think I ever thought that. To this day, I don't think
quick
that.
cash, boom, boom.
You
No,
know,
I know you don't now, but
I don't.
Like if you say you lost $250,000 like it was nothing in Vegas, that's the mindset I'm trying to
in 2 weeks.
That's the mindset I'm trying to dig at. It was like, where was that break?
Oh, I didn't like losing that. I didn't like losing that.
Was it the diamonds or was it the maybe 16 being the ticket?
No. Oh, when I really, when
like
I
when
started,
was it?
okay,
Like,
I can tell you.
I'm making money right now off of this.
When I got out of the service and I was working for Mac the Bookie, and Mac the Bookie was in on Queens Highway in Union Turnpike. We were in the Luke's Piano Lounge, and Mac had more money. They said the economy went down when that guy died. He had shoebox. I seen shoeboxes come in, literally when he shoeboxes. And I understood what money was more then. And I was about 26, maybe, because I got out of about 26, 27. I said, wow, I mean, this is money. Now, what did I do when
okay. That's it. Yes. All right. That's when the money, we were like, okay. I thought this was money at 12. Now it's finally flipped where this is the money,
I don't ever think I sat and said, oh, this is money, ever. Even when I had money.
Okay.
I didn't say, oh, I'm rich. I lived a good life. I took care of a lot of people. I'm very generous with money. Well, you see me give tools away. I mean, I'm just the way. Even now, I'm saying. Yeah, I know. Back then too.
I know.
I threw parties for people. People who listen to this show who know me from the day, and there are a few, and I want to interview them. They will remember the parties I'd throw for no money to help people or give people money, and I'm not trying to justify what I did. Let me get that straight.
You're not. You don't have to. Nobody has to look that up.
But I never thought, even to this day, Nick, no matter what happens with this company we're in, I'm loving the adventure of doing it.
Yeah.
And I think it'll make great money. I think we're going to do very, very, very well.
But
are we yet? No.
You didn't think that way as a 12-year-old making money.
No.
That's all I'm trying to get at.
I think that way now.
You just said that's how you think about it.
I'm not here saying, okay, when I get this money, I'm going to do this or that. Listen, you know me. I don't look. I like to do things. I like to vacation.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You just said the adventure, the experience. That's how you think now.
Oh, totally.
So what I'm saying is you didn't think that way as a 12-year-old making money.
You just made it. You didn't even think about making it. It was a way to get money. Listen, some kids went and worked in the Pathmark or the supermarket. Some kids worked at a five and dime store. Some kids worked at the butcher. They were
working like 15 hours too, dude.
Right, and I'm robbing and stuff.
Jesus.
So
I remember I had some of those kids in my class where I was like,
well, you did it too. You remember when you were working in an amusement park?
Jeez. Oh yeah. The second I turned 16, I was talking about like kids working.
Listen, it was just a different time, different era. I grew up with mobsters, so I wanted to be a mobster. I was pretty smart. I used to listen a lot. I know you're thinking, how do you listen a lot? You're crazy. You don't listen to anybody. I really listened a lot. And I took in so much information from some very big people that I watched literally how they spoke to a person, how they'd, and you name it, I looked at it in that way and I learned so much. That's why, and you know how I am. And Nick, you're a great employee. And I sometimes get mad, you know this, because I want you to listen sometimes more. And I get it. Listen, I'm wrong a lot. But in our own way, I want you just to realize some of the people you're around. And you know what I mean by that. I bring you around people and that who could have went where you went in Nicaragua and meet owners of the big... AJ Fernandez was one great guy. We're in his house, in his barn. Yeah. I mean, we're going to see that, guys. And we're with the biggest people in that industry. And I love the way... You
just pan the camera over to me and my dumbass is sitting there like... No.
It
would have been a fun... That's funny. That's funny, bro. Because I know that I'm in some crazy situations. That was the butt of the joke.
I hope... And I know this is crazy, everybody. I hope when I pass this world on... that Nick realizes someday, And I think he does.
Jesus,
and I'm not. No, hold on, Nick.
shit.
I'm not. Listen, I mean this. Wait.
Yeah.
I hope he realizes there isn't many people in the world that like Nick, who can meet some of the people he's already met, from billionaires to major people, from political candidates to I could go on and on, places as CEOs and gangsters and people, and Nick's great. Nick, I think, has that tact. Of course, he's a kid, and I don't mean that to knock you in that way, Nick. But he's 26. He's learning, and I was 26. And he knows. I'll tell him. When I was 26, Nick, if I did that, they'd have shot me or killed me. But I'm not like that, obviously. I always want to see people do better. I really do. I am not a jealous man, even a little bit. Not a bit. If somebody makes it, please, I want you to make it. I want you to tell me about it. I want you to enjoy it. I want people to make it, and I hope everybody who's involved with this company does right, because I'm going to give that stock away. That's what I'm doing, and you know that.
So you get a car.
No,
I'm sorry.
You know what I mean.
Instead of always saying thank you, I was about to start cracking jokes.
You do, Nick, and
but
I think the young people who have to realize. See, I didn't get the breaks that maybe I give people. Like they wouldn't have gave me chances or things, or you didn't have that. It was just the times. And I'm not saying right or wrong. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have phones. We didn't have cable. You had to hustle, man, and you had to figure out ways to make money, and it was through people. And I respect it, because you know so much about YouTube.
It's the
I mean,
same
I
right
asked you
now.
something about
It's the
YouTube
same
yesterday, and
right now.
How do you know that? I mean, I love it, and I love what I do. You know that. I love what I do.
Some of it might be autism.
Mine?
No.
Shut up, Nick.
The spit facts, like Marvin Gaye.
Oh,
That's what I'm trying to. Some of it I don't know, Larry. I don't.
you know, people don't. Let's not lose the people. Yeah. First of all, we're gonna do that now. Also. Anyway, so we had three things. Yeah, no, we had three great things, people. We now I want to end this one on the Super Bowl again. Nick does not know sports. You all know that. If you watch the show a little bit, you know that.
I know some
I think he's
sports.
getting there now, because first of all, he deals with my brother. Looks at him like,
Are you saying that
crazy?
confidently?
I think you're starting to learn.
Are
a
you
little
saying that confidently?
That what?
After the conversation we had last night at
about
the Super Bowl.
What about learning? No.
Do you
were-
remember the
Yes.
questions I asked?
Yes, when you said stupid things and people called you out for it.
No, Larry, my questions were, how much is a touchdown? Like, can you, are the odds 5? Like, can you score
Well,
something
you
with a
didn't
5?
listen, Nick. You really don't understand. I get that.
That's what
part.
I'm saying. is,
But I think you do. You
really
didn't even know who
understand it?
Mahomes was. You didn't know who
I did
Kansas
know
City
who that-
was.
I knew
You
who
never
Mahomes
mentioned
was.
Kansas City when we asked you to mention a team back in the day.
No, I probably didn't. I
On
knew who
this show,
Mahomes
you
was.
could look it back.
I knew who Mahomes was. And
Now
you
you
could have
do,
asked me
only
the-
because of Taylor Swift.
No, I knew that before Taylor even started
You know
dating
who Kelsey is?
No, I didn't. No, Kelsey is the only reason he exists as a human being is because Taylor made him out of existence.
Not really.
His career started.
He was a great,
didn't his
successful
career
Hall of Fame
start,
tight end. Nick,
7 months
do you know
ago?
what position he plays tight
Didn't
end?
he just start 7 months ago?
Shut up, Nick. He's been in. I want to punch him in the face, people. But
I love those fans, dude. I love it.
He listen, Kelso. Listen,
Kelso, that is amazing.
Kelsey.
You're so jealous of him.
Listen, that guy.
What about
honestly, was
jealousy?
very successful Hall of Fame tight end. Happened to meet a beautiful woman who's gonna.
You said my sweet baby girl.
Man, that's my girl.
You sound so jealous.
I am jealous.
I
wanted to date her.
You've mispronounced his name twice out of spite.
Hey, Nick, do you remember the girl we met last night at the party?
Yeah,
The young girl.
yeah.
Let me tell you what we're learning, guys, and we're going to end on this note because we were at a Super Bowl party. We went to a Super Bowl party with 22 people, 25 people, whatever. Each table had 8, 9, 10, and then all the people around. Not one person knew who Mr. Beast was.
It's crazy, man.
Not one person knew who that the sports guy is huge. Well, who's it? Ronaldo? No, the soccer player.
You didn't.
No, how big was he?
You didn't.
Well, I'm saying my point.
lost that
Nobody
bet.
knew who
You
Mr. Beast was, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what that showed us, guys.
Yeah, and then it got to the point where I was like, "There's a niche of everyone."
I have a niche. A lot
you
of
can be the
people know
most
who I
famous in
am.
your niche, You step outside of that bubble and nobody knows. I don't care who you are. Like Cristian Ronaldo, everyone on the planet knows him. They don't though.
No.
690 million followers on one app.
Instagram, yeah.
And you had no idea who he was.
I know who he was.
But
I didn't know.
I know, which is amazing.
I knew who he was. I know Messi. I know all of them.
Then you have to that's what we were saying. You have to think about how many people really are on this.
Well, like what Nick says, without sounding,
Like,
I don't know. How do you sound without sounding bragging? I'm pretty known in my niche. I mean,
like
the crime niche.
I know, yeah. When you put 1.4 million people in a stadium,
you can't. But yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The stadium, biggest stadium in the world, holds 100,000 people.
If you put 360 million people in a stadium, that is enormous.
Right. And
now, if you spread it across the world,
7 billion.
It's like ants.
Yeah.
That's like nothing.
I'm known in my niche.
Yeah.
But outside my niche,
it's a lot of people too, though.
People don't know who I am. But you know when you notice
that. But no one knows who.
But you notice that when I go on an airport or something, and I'll be recognized or something, and I first of all I always think they're looking at me for like, did I do something to them?
I've been around you where I've been like, oh, remember a couple times I've been like, hey, whoa, hold on, I don't know why they're staring at us like this, too.
They're staring at us because they recognize you in some way,
but I don't comprehend it.
No, I don't.
Times where I was like, oh, hold on, I think someone's following us. They might murder us. And then you turn around, they're like, Larry? And I'm like, that makes way more sense. What's going on right now?
It goes to show you how big the world is and how little we are. And that's okay. And that's why I've never, Nick, no matter what I've done, I've never thought, oh, you're the man or you're this or that. I love what I do. I like the people I'm around more than anything, I think, and you know that. I love situations. I love experiences.
Anyone in the whole world can still, you don't have to use that verbiage, but at a certain point in time, you reflected and been like, damn, that is cool. You don't have to say you're the shit and you're the best in the world, but
oh, it's cool.
That's kind of what I'm breaking even when you're 12, like at what time were you kind of like, you sat down and you recollected that like
then nobody
today
cared.
You knocked on 50 doors and made a couple bucks and that was pretty cool.
I'll tell you something.
Like you had to have gone home some nights and been like, that was some cool shit.
No, not when I was a kid. You know when it's been hitting me lately, to be honest?
Yeah.
Some fans or people will say, Larry, wow, you're on the U.S. Penitentiary Atlanta's website. If you go look up on Wikipedia, United States Penitentiary Atlanta, I'm on the same website as Al Capone.
Which is cool.
That is cool. Or Lehman High School.
Yeah.
I am one of the notable alumni. Me, yes. Cardi B, Doug Marone, who else? What's that guy? French Montana. Yeah. These people went to school in my school. I'm the oldest. That's what I didn't like. Bobby Bonilla. And that kind of says, wow, somebody's recognizing what you're doing.
And you've had those same chapters your whole life since you've been born. Even when you were 12.
True, but I never thought of it like I am now a little bit.
But that's what I'm asking you to think of. I'm not telling you I'm not asking what 12-year-old Larry was thinking. I'm asking you to think back to be like, oh, I think I remember, like I came home that night and I was like, damn, I just made $4,000.
No. When I was a criminal bad, Nick, I used to think, wow, I got away with that.
Yeah, that's all I
never ever thought.
Because I think now you're thinking I'm like.
I thought, shut up.
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone. You're stealing cars. Yeah. You do. Don't tell. It was like I was always of the old school.
Yeah, I'm not saying. All I'm saying is now thinking back, where they're not being like, oh, or you're trying to brag in everyone's face. That's not No,
I'm not.
No, I know, but I think you're stuck on me thinking that. I'm asking when you started flexing on everyone.
I only could say since I've been out of prison and since I've started YouTube. Yeah. You got to remember, I didn't start YouTube till 2020, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what the frick. I mean, listen to me. I mean, I've had heart problems before I had freaking YouTube fame.
Yeah. That's so fucking insane, dude.
It's fucking crazy.
I don't even want to talk about it.
But all right, listen, let's go.
But I do know for a fact. Think about it, and maybe next time we can talk about it again. I do know for a fact there were some nights you sat on your little bed in your attic with a pocket full of money and was like, that was a cool night.
No,
I did some cool shit.
I remember buying a motorcycle and shit. But anyway, guys, let's go. We got to go, Nick. Anyway, people,
You don't get it.
I hope you guys got a little insight in myself, a little insight in Nicaragua, a little bit of an insight into Mordie, our mascot. I love him to death. And a little bit of insight into, I guess, the Super Bowl of my life. Everybody, please stay safe, make good choices, and we will see you Friday.
But it's definitely something you should hear.
This is The Real Deal with Larry Lawton.